Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. If you guys may have noticed, this is not my usual background setup, and that is because I have now moved to San Diego. And honestly, this is a huge deal. I know you're like, Alyssa, wait, what? You moved? I think literally right after I posted my last video about recruitment, me and one of my good friends, also in Alpha Phi, moved into an apartment together near my school. So yeah, literally right after bid day for recruitment, we moved out. I don't know if I quite explained that I was going back to live here yet. I think I did. I think I mentioned it. But if you don't know, then here I am. But at the same time, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise just because school did start back up for quarter system schools. We're in midterms now. We started October 1st and then I moved in like 2 weeks after. And yes, my classes are online and my cheer practices are virtual currently, but most of my friends did move back to San Diego and I'm currently also working for my school now. Big announcement. We're just gonna get these updates and disclaimers out of the way before we start the video because I feel like my schedule kind of goes hand in hand with the updates, so I thought this was a good video to make. So let's hit some points here. I started school, I'm doing virtual cheer practices, I moved back to San Diego, an apartment, so I get my own room, no more living on campus. And also guys, I have a new job. This is very recent. It's not like you guys were left in the dust for too long. Literally, my friends are just finding out about this. I literally just got hired like 4 days ago. But let me tell you what it is, guys. It's actually so exciting, and it's gonna be the funniest thing of how I got the job. Of course, as we know, for most schools, everything is virtual, or at least in California, everything's virtual here for the most part. So that means all of our events and stuff like that are moved onto virtual events. To make a long story short, the athletics department of my school saw my YouTube videos and they decided to have me host one of the virtual events. And then from there, it turned into a job opportunity. And now I am a student marketing assistant for my school, where I am the official host and face of all the media that we do. Honestly, guys, I'm really proud of myself. And I think this is absolutely amazing because I honestly wasn't planning on working when I came down here just because I do have a lot on my plate. But I don't want to bore you guys too much with this stuff. But yeah, I'm basically the media host for the school now, which is literally insane. Also guys, now that I have a new apartment, I'm definitely going to be doing an apartment tour. I did want that to be honestly one of the first videos that I made once I moved here, but I wanted to wait until my room was completely finished with the decorations and everything was all settled in, because I'm not completely done with everything yet. Like, I have a few pieces still waiting to come in the mail to finish my room, because honestly, as you guys could probably tell, there's not a lot going on back here. So without further ado, I'm going to be telling you guys how I balance school, cheerleading, you know, athletics and sports, YouTube, modeling, and a job, and being in a sorority. And if you told me when I was younger, or even in high school, or my first year of college maybe, that I would be doing all of those things that I just said, I would have thought you were very crazy. Because I don't mean to get into my life story or anything, I'm just gonna make this really quick, but I feel like growing up I was never one to put a lot on my plate, and I never really understood how people did it and were successful at it. But I'm nowhere near perfect now, but I'm definitely learning, and I am at a place in my life where I like to take on a lot of challenges, and honestly I don't really know when to stop, which is a little concerning. But personally, I think it's pretty inspiring to see videos like these, because whenever I see people that I look up to also balancing a lot on their plate and being just a successful girl boss, like Gabrielle Moses, I look up to her a lot, like Gabby Fuller, just like other YouTubers who are doing school and like sports and just all these things at once. It's just, I love watching them because it motivates me. And like I said before, I'm no master at it whatsoever. But I'm gonna share with you guys what really helps me. And I have a list. So we're gonna start off basic. The thing that has been helping me a lot lately is having a Google Calendar. And no, this is not just your average planner. I have a planner right here. Actually, I showed this in one of my other videos. This is my 2020 planner with my special pen. I also have like a vision board that I made in the first few pages so it can motivate me. But to be quite honest, I don't really use this anymore because I've transitioned to a Google Calendar. Actually, one of my best friends suggested this to me and it's been a lifesaver. Let's face it, if you have so many activities going on, how on earth are you supposed to remember all of it? Another thing I used to do is write in my notes. I would just write all the time, like what I have going on that day at the beginning of each day. And that works, but having your whole week or 2 weeks planned out is so much better. So let me show you mine. Got some cool stickies. Sorority and Koopa. All right, I'm gonna show you guys my Google Calendar. It's been an absolute lifesaver. Literally, I feel like I am just like, it's literally insane because whenever my friends ask me to hang out, I have to look at my Google Calendar. Here is my Google Calendar. I know you can't see very well, but that's okay. And what's great about Google Calendars is that you can like color code it to make it really easy, which is a lot more work if you're writing it in your own planner. So for my midterms and my important exams and homework, I put them in red. I put all of my miscellaneous social activities and other stuff in yellow. And it's just really easy seeing it all color coded like this, because then I'm just like, oh, I have cheer because I know this color. Like I have yellow, which is like fun stuff. So this is how I make plans with friends and stuff, and this is how I put in my work schedule, remind myself when my midterms are. This laptop holds so much power. And the next thing I want to talk about is more of like something I remind myself. This is actually something my dad told me right before I left to San Diego this fall quarter. This was the day that I accepted the job from UCSD. And he said, Alyssa, like, I know you're capable of doing these things, but remember, you do have a lot on your plate. I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. So I'm just gonna tell you something that I told your sister when she once called me having a mental breakdown about school. And trust me and my sister have had many mental breakdowns about school, like every day. But what my dad told me is to think about life and priorities as a jar of rocks. In my head, I imagine a mason jar. All of your main priorities are like big rocks. Like school would be a big rock. Like the biggest rock is school. Then you have either like your sport or your job or whichever comes more important as like another sort of big rock, but not as big as school. Then you have like hanging out with your friends and other things, extracurriculars, things you like doing. That's all kind of like smaller little pebbles in like sand. And what he told me is to think about how you need to fill your jar with the big rocks first, or else you won't have any room for them. Because if you put the sand first and all of these little pebbles first, you're not gonna have room for the big rocks, which you need. So you really need to put what's important first, and you can fill it with the pebbles and the sand that can fill in the gaps and whatever you have room for. But you just kind of have to get your priorities straight and remember what in your life are the big rocks and what's the sand and the little pebbles. Normally my dad always says some Confucius stuff like that, but that really resonated with me because I was like, wow, like you're right. Because sometimes I would find myself in the past putting socializing or hanging out with my friends first, or things that shouldn't have mattered as much like before school. I do have to remind myself of this every day because honestly, like it's so easy, especially in college or at any point in your life for that matter, to forget where your priorities lie and what your goals are. And I definitely forget all the time. Like I'm not perfect. I'm really not. All right, another thing is surround yourself with really good people. And I mean empowering people, people who fuel your soul, people who understand when you can't hang out with them, people who don't get mad at you, people who lift you up, people who are such a positive light in your life, people who inspire you to be better. This is a really big realization that I had, I think about 2 weeks ago. I realized that the people you surround yourself with are kind of a reflection of who you are. Not everybody, because I think we do need different types of friends in our lives, and we love our friends for different reasons, of course. But at the same time, you want to surround yourself with people who truly love you, people who choose you back, people who make you want to become a better person, and people who motivate you. Those are the people that should be your best friends. It's not a good idea to surround yourself closely with people who might bring you down or might be a bad influence on certain aspects of your life. And I've really learned that this year. Like, there are so many women that are just incredible that I've met that are juggling even more things than me and doing amazing at it. And they encourage me. I feel like there's a lot of different types of people in the world, and I'm definitely one of those friends or one of those people like who has a role talking and giving advice to people and always lifting people up. So it's really healthy to also have people that will do the same for you. Having it reciprocated is super healthy in life, and I truly believe that. Going off of that, I just have some friends that are literally incredible, doing things that I couldn't even think of doing as well as they do. And it just inspires me and pushes me to keep going, because I know that I do want to be the best, and I do want to be the best version of myself. And seeing these great people around me accomplish the things that they do pushes me so much to be better, and it's amazing. And also, those great people will come in handy when you're having a mental breakdown, or when you need help with school, or when you just kind of had it and you need support. You need support. Like, don't ever think that you are alone, or that you're facing things by yourself, or that you're alone in your thoughts. I've learned the hard way that isolation is not the best thing for our minds, especially when we have a lot of emotions going on. And on that note, another great thing that helps keep me on track is remembering to take time for myself. Self-care and just spending time on my own and just really taking care of myself is so important for my mental stability. Even though I have grown into an extremely social person, I still really appreciate my alone time and just one-on-one with me, myself, and like God. Sometimes if I'm overwhelmed, or if I've been, you know, just having a lot lately, or talking to a lot of people, or overwhelmed with school, I'm lucky enough to live in La Jolla, which is great. So I like to sit on the cliffs of the rocks or go to the beach just by myself, and I like to journal. Talk out loud, get my thoughts out, just really like be one with myself, something that is enriching your soul, if that makes sense. Listen to good music by yourself, listen to the sound of nature by yourself, go for a swim, take yourself out on a lunch date, do self-care, have a nice bubble bath, do a face mask, clean your room. Cleaning your room is self-care. Eating healthy, that also gives you a lot of energy to accomplish all the things that you need to in the day. Also, another tip that I do is I get my day started as early as possible. A lot of people wonder like how I fit things in throughout my day, and honestly, if I need to get something done, or if I just need to do something in the day but I don't have time, I'll wake up earlier and push something in that spot. Like, you can always make more time. If you have to wake up at 5 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m. Honestly, remember this, waking up earlier is always better than going to bed later, but at the same time, I'm not very good at that because I'll stay up late and do homework a lot. Really utilize your time and realize that if something is that important to you, you will have time for it. At least for me, if I have a full day and my friends still want to see me, if I still really want to see my friends, like heck, I will go get boba with them at 1 a.m. because boba places are open that late. But also remember to like relax and breathe. Like, honestly, I'm a lot calmer about having a heavy load than I was last year when I first started all of this, because last fall I kind of went headfirst into going onto the quarter system at a UC school and jumping into cheer and in a sorority at the same time as going to LA for modeling stuff. That took a toll on me, and I didn't exactly know how to handle it yet. I was stressed out and like tweaking out 24/7. I think I definitely have a good grip on it now. Even though I do have my moments, I definitely do. I had one yesterday. Something isn't going right. You just have to like calm down, like assess the situation, realize that you can't change anything about the past. What's done is done, but you can only go up from there and make a plan of what you can do. Like, for example, I didn't get the grade that I wanted on my coding Python test yesterday, and I panicked a lot, but at the end of the day, I just calmed myself down. I checked what I have to do to recover from this. I wrote down steps of what I need to accomplish and what I need to do. Like, do I need to get a tutor? Do I need to get this grade on this exam to move forward and make everything okay? And just accepting that you can't change the past, but you can change the future. Also, another thing that I do with my busy schedule is I always try to get my homework done ahead of time. If there's a night where I have an extra hour, an extra 2 hours, or if I didn't plan anything in this gap of time, I will try to grind out my homework as much as I can so I don't have to worry about it in the future. Just try to plan ahead as much as you can. Like, look into everything you have in the upcoming weeks and just literally try to prepare ahead of time because it will make things so much easier later. Alright, well, the sun is going down, and also I feel like this has been a pretty long video. I hope I actually was able to help you guys in some way. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!